More than 70,000 people have now been evacuated as these fires continue to rage on. And a lot of people are leaving scared, full of anxiety, worried about everything that they'll need to do if they return back to nothing.
To nothing if they lose everything. We're joined now by a musician who packed up his most valuable instruments and his pets, left his home in Topanga Canyon last night. David Block, thank you very much for being with us at this tough time. How are you doing?
I'm having a mixed bag. We just tried to go back to our place to grab some last-minute things and make sure we got some of our most valuable things out. And although it's stuff, it's, yeah, we were just crying driving in, watching the fire come down the hillside and burn our community. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot on the news yet about Topanga Canyon, which I'm guessing will probably come pretty shortly, or maybe that's me right now. But it was pretty devastating.
Any word on your home, music equipment, studio, anything?
We were there about a half hour. We got back in to make sure that we could make sure that everything was okay, and we got a video. We're one of the last properties that's closest to the beach. But as we were looking up the Fernwood community, it looked like it was just being destroyed. So our home is okay. The flames were like, I don't know, 600 feet from our house when we left. But it was hard to tell what was going to happen because the wind was blowing the fire away. But it's a canyon and it's just like a little tinderbox. So, yeah, we're just praying right now.
Amen. We're seeing these pictures, and on screen. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. You're there in the middle of what is one of the great natural disasters in recent American history. What is that experience like? I hate to ask it this way, but up close.
It's interesting because we've always had it in our mind when we moved to this part of Los Angeles that was a possibility, but we love the community there so much, and it's just so incredibly beautiful. You have all the nature and the hiking trails and little restaurants where they know you by your name, and it's just this magical, like, last bastion of small community, I feel like, of Los Angeles. And yeah, my girlfriend and I driving in, we're just like weeping, crying. It's just like, it's unimaginable, to be totally honest. It's like one of those things that you try to prepare, we're prepared for, like that we have to leave at some point and that this could be a thing, but it just made us feel so much love and care for, all the animals that can't get out. And there's a lot of horses in our neighborhood, and just wanting our community to come together and be strong after this. So it's like unimaginable, really.
Well, the other story that we're already talking about are the number of people that don't have insurance. There are a lot of carriers that pulled insurance from, folks throughout the Los Angeles area. How about you? Do you have insurance? Yes or no? And where do you go from here?
I have insurance that will cover a small fraction of the amount of stuff that we have. We tried to go get out irreplaceable items. I have like 100-year-old guitars, but and things like that. But yeah, we're fortunate enough to have some insurance, but it's not gonna. It's gonna cover a small fraction. So I'm not even quite there yet. But I think in general, people, even with good insurance plans, California has just kind of been a little bit brutal with, understandably, because these areas are so high risk. And so I'm not totally sure what we're going to do, to be honest. We're going to, right now we're praying, and we're surrounding our home with light and envisioning that all of our neighbors are safe, even though we saw that a lot of them definitely don't look that way. And
I'll tell you,
we're just, yeah.
well, I was just thinking, you're a musician, and I'm imagining right now, I'm thinking positively that when all is said and done, you are going to write a song, you are going to come together with fellow musicians, and there is going to be a fundraiser for those that need the most support, and that's going to be the next interview we're doing with you, David Block.
You know, I actually just hosted, I spent a lot of time in the Southeast in Asheville, North Carolina, and I hosted a benefit concert a couple months ago, and we raised like $8,000 for local artists in the Southeast community for the flood relief. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, man, that's pretty ironic that we're going to probably need to do that pretty heavily for our community. But music does bring together healing, and hopefully we'll be able to transmute this into a beautiful experience of regrowth and rebuilding.
There we go.
That's
you let
it.
us know when that music's ready, and that will be our next interview, David.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for covering our beautiful Topanga community.
Yeah, it is a pretty amazing community.
It is.
Thanks,
Thank you.
David.
Good luck to you, David. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.